Okay, girls, so let's do example number 2. So in example number 2, it says the line that passes through the point 2, -1 is, and we have different options. We have other options down here. So what we have to do is sub in the value of x. So let's remember that in this point, the first one is coordinate x and the second number is coordinate y. Agree? So basically what we're saying, if x is equal to 2, then y will have to be equal to 1. So what we're going to do is sub in this value of x equal to 2 in each one of these rules here. And see, I'm going to go down and highlight the other ones as well. And then check if the value of y is going to be equal to -1. So this value of y, is it going to be equal to 1 once we sub in? So that's what we're going to be doing, okay? When we are solving these exercises by hand, this is what we're doing. Okay. Some of you might be able to do it in your head. That's absolutely fine. I'm just going to do it step by step so that is very clear for everyone. I'm going to use different colors for each one so that it becomes more clear what I'm doing here. So I'm going to use green first. So I'm going to say y is equal to, remember that I said I always open brackets when I'm going to sub in. So I do -2 times 2 plus 5. I'm just going to highlight here. This is what the number that I sub in. And then I say y is equal, I solve that first, brackets, -4 plus 5. So y is equal to -4 plus 5, x equals to 1. Did I get to -1? No, I didn't. So this doesn't work. So this is not my answer. So it doesn't work. Okay, now I'm going to do this one with blue. So I'm going to do exactly the same. Y equals 2 times 2. Take away 1. So I'm subbing in, this is the number that I'm subbing in which rule? In this one. Okay, so y is equal to 4. Take away 1, so y is equal to 3. So it's not -1, so this is not the answer either. So let's do the next one. We'll do it with yellow to decide. So y is equal to -2 times 2 plus 1. So y is equal to -4 plus 1. Y is equal to -3 is my answer. So again, the number that I sub in was this one here in this rule here, and I got to -3, and I needed to get to -1, so it doesn't work. So this one is not either. So let's do D. So I'm going to use this rule now. So for that one, I'm going to use a now purple. So I'm going to do x is equal to 2 and y is -1. So I'm going to say, I'm going to sub in both numbers. So I'm going to do 2. Now, x is -1 equals 1. So 1 equals 1 because the left-hand side is equal to the right-hand side. That means that this is the answer. Because I got to 1 equals 1, that's right. So this is going to be my answer. Now, how do we do this in CAS? So I don't have to test E because I already know that I'm not going to do the other one. I'm going to do it just for the sake of explaining, but we don't have to. So if I do that, I will sub in x. X is 2. And y is -1. So -1 is equal to -1. That's what the rule is saying. And 2 take away 1 is 1, which is equal to -1, because their 1 is not the same as -1, they're not true, so that's not the answer, which we already knew because we already found it here. So how do we do this in CAS? So the way that we do it is we have to enter each one of these rules, and we're going to evaluate them with when x is equal to 2, and we're going to say if the answer that we get is that y is equal to -1. So we have to type y equals, sorry girls, -2x plus 5. So -2x plus 5. -2x plus 5, and I'm going to solve this one when x is equal to, what is it? Is it 2 or -2? I don't remember. When x is equal to 2. And then I get that y is equal to 1. That was the same answer that I got here. Therefore, that's not the answer. Then look how I'm going to do it very quickly. I'm just going to press my arrows here, up, up, and then I press enter. When that happens, the line copies itself. So I'm just going to change the rule. And what I have to change for this rule is 2x take away 1. So it's 2x take away 1, and I press enter, and I get that this y is equal to 3, what we got here. So again, this is not the answer. Then I go up, up, enter. I'm going to change my rule. And it's -2x plus 1. 2x plus 1. Enter, and I get y is equal to -3. Exactly what we got here. So it's not our answer. Let's see what happens if I enter my rule in this form instead of y equals to something x plus y. Let's see what happens. So if I go up, 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 enter, and then I change this one, and I say, I'm going to change it completely, and I'm going to say x plus y equals 1. X plus y equals 1, and then I press enter. Look, it just sub in, but it didn't solve it. So CAS is not going to do the algebra for you. It's telling you what CAS did is sub in, and it gave you an exact answer, and they say y plus 2 is equal to 1. It's not helpful, isn't it? Like at the moment it is helpful because you can say, okay, I take both sides and I find if y is working. But if you have more complex equations, that's not what you want to do. So when you have a problem like that, what do you have to do? You have to rearrange your equation here. So I'm going to do it. You have to put it in terms of y equals like y in terms of x. So how do you do that? What I will do is I'm going to do it with black here. I'm going to take away x on both sides of my equation. And when I do that, I can cancel this x with this x, and this becomes y is equal to 1 take away x. And this is the rule that I'm going to enter into the CAS. So I'm going to say here again, I'm going to delete the rule y is equal to 1 take away x. Press enter, and I get that y is equal to -1. What? That y is equal to -1. Yes, y is equal to -1, and that's what we wanted. We wanted to y equals to -1, so that's why we got to the answer, and the answer therefore is D. Wonderful.